Nothing wrong with what I'm going to talk about right now. Jack Del Rio, former USC Trojan, was a coach for a while for my Raiders. He is currently now the defensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. And I don't even know. I think he had tweeted something earlier about the insurrection and made comments about that January 6th, by the way. Insurrection, in case people don't know what we're referring to. And then he came out, because I think people kind of went at him on Twitter. But then he came out and made some comments, which I don't think he helped himself at all. Let's hear from defense coordinator Jack Del Rio.
I think we all as Americans have the right to express ourselves, especially if you're being respectful. I'm being respectful. I just asked a simple question. Really, let's get right down to it. What did I ask? A simple question. Why are we not looking into those things? If we're going to talk about it, why are we not looking into those things? Because it's kind of hard for me to say I can realistically look at it. I see the images on TV. People's livelihoods are being destroyed. Businesses are being burned down. No problem. And then we have a dust-up at the Capitol. Well, there's nothing burned down. And we're not going to talk about, we're going to make that a major deal. I just think it kind of two standards. And if we apply the same standard and we're going to be reasonable with each other, let's have a discussion. That's all it was.
Jack Del Rio, defense coordinator for the Washington Commanders, and I heard this on Keyshawn and Jay and Mash this morning. I was like, "Is this?
Are you serious?
Are you really serious about these comments you're making?" Where he wants to have an investigation on the protests during the summer, that's as opposed to having this, this investigation of the January 6th insurrection. What? I'm blown away. You know what? And he's my coach for the Raiders, and he's my guy, but he's not my guy anymore. Point blank. Because and that's cool. You have the right to express your opinion
That's
about
right.
that. But when people show who they are, you better
Believe
them for real.
the first time.
The first time, but I guess I was shocked because I don't know him, but I didn't see him just from my lens as being, I don't know,
an idiot.
Yeah, that was. I mean, he first of all, I need to remind him the city that he's working in right now, and all the history behind Washington D.C. and the makeup of Washington D.C.
He don't care.
Apparently, he don't.
He doesn't care, and he can't grasp the concept. He don't get it.
So I get it. And nobody could own people burning down stuff. We get that.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm down with if you got an issue and you want to protest, damn it, go protest. Right? Peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
But when you try to put a coup on the nation's capital, and you think people shouldn't talk about that? We live in this democracy where we have a structure where we think we have things in place, and you're going to try to take that down, and we shouldn't investigate that. We should go investigate this other stuff.
Right. He's like, yeah, you should
To me,
make it even.
To me, it seemed like,
That's
in my
crazy.
opinion, it seemed like they came out straight out of Fox News, right there. Oh, they're going to embrace him. Hey, you pick, you choose, you choose. I ain't mad at that. But these comments, I think, were idiotic. I think they was shocking to me, Pam. K-Mac.
Yeah. But like you say, when people show you who they are, you didn't really know him. He hadn't had the opportunity to say that.
But why would you even say that? What prompted you to go on Twitter to even talk about the insurrection? You, in your position, what you do, free country, that's what you do. But you're a leader of men, and I would tell you that the men that you quote unquote the leader of, majority of them probably don't subscribe to none of this
absolutely
mess you're
not.
talking about. None of them. Then he came back, as we always do, and he had somewhat apologized.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat. He said, I made comments earlier today in referencing the attack that took place on the United States Capitol on January 6th, 2021, referencing that situation as a dust-up. That's what he called it, dust-up. Was irresponsible and negligent, and I'm sorry. Really? You weren't sorry when you said it.
No, he wasn't sorry.
No.
They just
His
somebody
PR
made
people.
him say, "Look, this ain't good. This ain't a good look. You need to apologize."
But then he said this too. I stand by my comments condemning violence in communities across the country. Okay, I don't think nobody said we should be violent. I say that while also expressing my support as an American citizen for peaceful protests in our country. Okay, I have fully supported all the peaceful protests in America. I love, respect, and support all my fellow coaches, players, and staff that I work with and respect their views and opinions. I can tell you right now, some of those players like, yo, bro, what are you doing, man?
Right.
And we got to go to war with you. This how you feel about things? War, quote unquote, in terms of sports. We gotta work with you every day, and this is your opinion.
And know how you feel about
about this, about
so to
us.
speak.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's be real clear.
That's exactly how they feel.
Well, don't the players?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly how people like Jack Del Rio feel too.
And that's really unfortunate. And this is just my opinion. Some people may think I'm crazy or we crazy for even taking the position. But I think it's real unfortunate that people feel that way.
Oh yeah. It's very, very disheartening to think that.
Yeah.
And to think that you're talking to people. I mean, just like
and you work with people.
He was coaching people day before yesterday, and they never thought that he thinks this way.
And he's making decisions on people's jobs and lives. Who knows his opinion about stuff? If he feels this way, who knows what kind of opinion he will develop about other people or people that look like me and you.
He had comments. I mean, even when the Kaepernick thing started, he was like, I think we should keep our personal, feelings and beliefs out of, away from the team. This is about the team. This is about us. This is about, and it's the same narrative. It's the same thread. It's the same. It doesn't affect me watching you suffer.
Yeah.
That's it. They have no empathy for the plight that's happening to many, many people of color. It just doesn't exist for many people. It's not there. But then you see, the insurrection or whatever we want to call January 6th, whatever we want to call it, it's a plan to overthrow or take over what we call our democracy.
Yeah,
and
that's what I said.
And we say it's a dust, but it's like, where we were fed up, where we wanted to have our voices heard. Wait a minute, hold on. People are dying in the streets in front of you, and you think, well, the voting machines, that's just we've had enough.
Yeah,
we're burning the whole place down.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm done.
And that's the other part about it too. Now, they said the whole election was a fraud,
right,
and all that. So I mean, because we
but that's what it was about.
Yeah,
right.
Then they won't admit it, but I mean that's what it was about.
It was about the current president at the time, President Trump, and we're gonna hear more about tonight. They got this whole thing tonight on this whole January 6th.
Well, now they're gonna tell all who planned it,
right,
who was involved in it, and yeah, they did it. They all did it.
They followed the leader, his direction.
Well, I mean, they planned it. They planned it, and I just thought to myself, like, you got one group of people that are protesting. But true, you want to say that we were fed up? That's fine.
No.
The fact that people of color just dying, inexplicably, just for no reason at all, right? Right in front of our very eyes, your own family just being gunned down by your own by people that are sworn to protect you in other areas.
Yeah.
But then so they were fed up with that, and they decided to have a protest and say, look, we can't be heard any other way. So this is how we got to do something to be heard.
I mean, it's often said protest is the voice of the unheard,
right?
And that's what this is all about.
So then they say, well, we were fed up with the voting machines and the way that the election went.
Yeah.
So you try to overthrow the
whole government.
Yeah, overthrow the government.
That was your plan.
They was looking for the vice president to hang him and all this.
And just to be clear, Mr. Del Rio, there are people that have been arrested and have been charged with crimes and other things as a part of the protest.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely.
just to be clear.
Yeah.
But it was no one group of people sit around and say, okay, now here's what we're gonna do.
But
we're gonna destroy everything we could possibly find. We're going to do this. We're going to overthrow the government. We're going to take the governor of Michigan hostage.
Yep.
And we're going to do it.
That's okay.
There was no
Yeah.
There was no group of people that sat around and planned and plotted all of these things.
Let's go back to the beginning of what he said.
What, Jack?
This was a dust up.
Right.
A dust up. So you're gonna minimize that, and that's what happens in a lot of cases. You can have a situation where there's a riot, or you can have a situation where a couple guys just being boys. It's all about how you interpret it. I mean, you can go one part of the city, it's a riot. You go other part of the city, same thing, same number of people, just boys being boys.
Right.
This is a dust up. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
But now this will have an impact because those are grown men that he's coaching, and many of them are men of color in those rooms.
Majority of them, absolutely.
Majority, yeah.
Yeah.
So in reality is, a lot of those people are going to look at you differently because and I don't know why differently, but you coach, you play, you've been a part of many teams with many black men.
Yes.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, it is going to shock hundreds of black men that he really didn't think what you thought he thought about you.
It's funny. Keyshawn
Good
Johnson
point.
said this morning that he'd known him since he was 7 years old because he was a ball boy because Jack Del Rio played baseball and all this stuff. He said, I've known this guy since I was 7 years old, and I am totally blown away, and I'm done with him.
You don't. I'm telling you, you don't matter to many of them like you think you do.
Wow.
Trust me. But you know what though?
I'm just giving it to you straight, people.
I'm just glad.
You ain't got. Look, I'm just telling you. The more you pay attention to this kind of thing, it comes out. Just keep paying attention.
I'm glad he said it because now I know. I know his perspective on certain things as opposed to didn't know. Because if you had told me that he felt that way, I said no, not this guy. This me. From watching him from afar, didn't really know him, but it's really sad. We're gonna follow up on how it's gonna be a tough training camp. You sit there trying to tell me about X's and O's and going through this, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's good, coach. But let's talk about this other thing. And you working in Washington D.C. V, what we got?
Name